What's up, everybody? This is Carl from Technical Goodies, and I am back with another TEMU 60-day update. It's a little bit further than 60 days. It's more like a 90-day update, but either way, this is the update for the second video in the series. And even though it's 90 days, it just gives me a little bit more time to use the items to give you my true opinion. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is toss the video up on the screen, and we're going to go through it, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my update / opinion on whether or not any of these things were good or bad. And that way you'll know if you want to pick them up. Alrighty, so here we go. So this is basically, like I said, my second video in the series, and this is the first object that came out of the bag. Yeah. Well, I guess you probably know what this is. It's actually one of the LED signs that I have up here in the background. I think this is actually, let's scoot forward here in the video a little bit. Yep. So this is the rocket. This is kind of the first one that I got. And I will tell you one thing, I love this thing. So I got it back here on my wall, as you can see, and it's been there ever since I picked this up on TEMU. The only thing that someone did mention was that they had an issue with the wiring. They said not to, it was basically in the comments, someone said, you know, don't leave this on 24 hours a day because depending on if you're using the battery pack or what, get hot or cause an issue. And I haven't had any problem with it. It's been just fine. So here we are with the next item in the box here. Okay, so this was the aroma diffuser that I got. You can see it here on the screen. Let me fast forward a little bit here. And basically, this is an aroma diffuser that sort of runs off USB power. Now, at first, I really liked this. It worked great. It smelled good, but it turned out to be a giant disappointment. After about a day or two of using it, it just stopped working altogether. So I don't know if it was user mistake or if it was just kind of a crappy piece of tech, but I did not have a good experience with it. Basically, after 2 days, it went straight in the garbage. I wouldn't recommend this one in particular, but I would recommend maybe some of the other ones, depending on the ratings you might see on the site. All right. Yes, this is one. If you did watch that video, you will know that when I opened this, the issue with this was that the clock was white and the lettering was white. So needless to say, my opinion on this was I ended up not using this at all because you can't see the numbers. If you have it in sort of a dimmed room, then yeah, it would work just fine. But if you have it in any other room that has any bit of light to it, then absolutely not. I would not recommend this clock at all because basically I haven't used it since then. And if you can look here on the screen right now, it's actually turned on. Again, in a dark room, that might work a lot good. If you want to have it on your nightstand at night, you can see here, I show an example of it at night. So it does light up at night and it looks fine, but unless you're going to use it in very specific situations, I most definitely would not recommend this one. All right, what do we got next here in the old opening? Oh, yeah, my favorite, sunglasses. So again, sunglasses, you'll see a couple of them in here. So far, what I said in the very last TEMU unboxing that I did is very appropriate. If you're going to get any sort of sunglasses from anywhere, you've got to make sure that they're polarized. A couple of the ones that I got here were not polarized. So if you do go back to that old video and click on the link, just make sure that they're polarized before you order them. Some of them do come with that little card that allows you to be able to check whether or not the polarization is working. I didn't test any of these until later, but what I did find out was that some of them just basically weren't polarized, and I didn't pay attention enough when I bought them. I just thought they were, so those ended up going in the garbage. So word to the wise on sunglasses, make sure they're always polarized. All right, so next in the bag was this writing tablet. So basically it's like one of those old sort of drawing things you had as a kid that had a little gray lift up. Well, if you're my age, it had a little gray lift up thing where if you lift it up, it erased it and you write it. You can write on this thing. And then there's a little button there you can see that I click and it immediately erases the screen. I have had no issues with this. I haven't used it a ton. I'm actually taking it on a vacation here to give to my brother's kid because I think they'll get a lot more use out of it. But what I have used out of it is great. The lettering, as you can see here, shows up great. You can add your notes, you can write on it, you can do whatever you want, and then easily erase it. So would I recommend this? Yeah, absolutely, especially for a kid that might want to like to draw all the time and then just to easily erase what's on the screen. But Most definitely, I would recommend this one. All right, what is next? Let me scoot forward ahead here. Ah, yes. Okay, so this was the umbrella. So I have mixed feelings on this. It was such low quality, and I felt like with the stiffest breeze, the thing would flip inside out. But I did give it to my son, and he actually keeps it in his backpack for when they're walking to and from the bus, and hasn't had any problem with it since. But would I recommend you purchasing this? I'm going to say no. What I would recommend is finding one with a little better quality. I think that a lot of them on there are pretty low in price, but what I would recommend is one with a little better quality if you can find it, and one that has sort of a spring loaded. Right now, that one you have to pull out manually, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But would it work in a pinch? Sure. But would I recommend buying it? No, I wouldn't recommend buying it. Anyway, next in the old bag here, let's see what we got. Ah, yes. So this is the luggage scale. Okay, so basically you hold on to it, hook it to your luggage, lift it up, and it'll show you the weight of your current luggage. And with luggage having to be under 50 pounds, before you go to the airport, you don't want to get there and have them weigh it and tell you it's over, because then you have to take everything out. This has worked great. I've used it twice so far. I'm actually getting on a plane next Friday to go somewhere, and I'm going to use it again. Now, someone had said in the comments, they said, well, you just grab a scale and stand on it and then pick up your luggage. Then whatever the difference is, that's how much the luggage weighs. Yes, technically that would work. But I am 290 pounds and my scale goes up to 300. So that's not going to work for me. Okay, it might work for you, but it's not going to work for me. So something like this is so much more convenient to just have around, be able to strap it to the suitcase and weigh it and go. So would I recommend that one? Absolutely. All right, what is next in the bag? Ah, yeah. So this one I ended up using quite often. This is sort of the heat sealer or the bag sealer that you basically use to, I'll show you a video here real quick. So here's me using it. So basically you just clamp it onto the bag and slide it across the bag, and then the heat from the little nub at the end will actually reseal the bag. And at first I didn't know if it worked, but then I ended up using it on the video itself and it worked just great. And it still continues to work. I have no problem with it. Would I recommend it? Maybe. I think that as I've looked on TEMU, there's actually other versions of this in particular that might be a little bit better quality. But I think this one, I can't remember how much it was, but it was literally less than $1. So if you're looking for something to try out, a little gadget to have around to be able to reseal plastic bags, it's not bad. I didn't have much problem with it. I still use it to this day. It's downstairs in my kitchen. So yeah, no issues with it. All right, next in the bag was a golf towel. Yeah, that ended up working great. If you go back and look at the video, you'll see it's just basic golf towel that I gave to my son. Had a little hook on it. He used it just fine. All right, what is next that I pulled out of that magical bag on my table there? Ah, yeah, so this is a rotary dial timer. As you can see on the screen here, what I'm doing is you can actually go ahead and sort of turn the dial, and when you turn the dial, it increases the numbers up and down. And I have this downstairs on my counter, and I use it when I'm cooking. Have no problem with it. Still working to this day. Only thing is that the feet on the bottom don't stick as well as I'd like, so you kind of have to push down while you're turning the dial. And the sensitivity of the numbers going up and down were a little sensitive. So if you want to get like right to 15 minutes, you're trying to turn the thing back and forth, it doesn't stop right on 15 or any sort of numbers in between. You get 1501, or 1445 or something like that. So you kind of have to jimmy it to get what you want. But other than that, I mean, for a small little timer, if you're not using your phone or something like that, it's a good little timer. Had no issues with it. All right, what do we got here? What is next? Ah, yes. Okay, so this ended up working out pretty good. It's basically a small, like old school Macintosh that you can put your, as you can see here, you can put your iPhone or Apple Watch charger in the back of it. And then when you slide your Apple Watch in like that, it ends up charging. And then you can see what's ever on the screen in the little Macintosh itself. So it's kind of gimmicky. You can see I have a little picture of what it would look like on the screen here. But yeah, I use it. I have no problem with it. I'm actually going to give it to my kids to use on their table because I have a different one that I picked up in a different TEMU unboxing. But yeah, no issues with it. All right, what did I pull out of the bag this time? Oh yeah, so this was the actual aromatherapy oil that you put into there. I didn't have any issues with that. I mean, it's so simple. You can see me here putting this whole thing together and trying to use it. But basically, you take this aromatherapy oil and put it in the diffuser. And when the diffuser did work, that was actually pretty nice. It was like a linen smell. Smelled great. My kids came home and said, "Oh, what does that smell? It smells awesome." So it did work. Too bad that the diffuser completely just tanked out on me. I mean, that totally sucked because I really did like using this. And I think that is about it. Quick video, guys. Just wanted to make sure I got a chance to sort of update you on some of these purchases, let you know which ones worked, which ones didn't, which ones to stay away from. Hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'd love to see you back. We do stuff all the time. But until then, this is Carl from Techful Goodies, and I'm out.